How you doing? My name's Milton Willis, 39, going on 40 this year.
My name is Jacoby Dunlap. I'm 32.
My name is John Beecher Muse IV, 31 years old.
I originally started off in the Air Force. I had served 9 years going from 2012 to 2021. And I had been a homeowner. I ended up working for another company in California before my first big incident where I ended up losing the property to my house.
I started out going downhill after my parents died, my stepdad and my mom. Yeah, after my stepdad, I was dealing with that, which was hard, doing all the funeral arrangements with mom and just trying to be her shoulder and be the strong one. About a month after his passing, she passed away. The feeling is, can't even describe the words to say to that.
So what brought me to Talbot House Ministries was I fractured my spine jumping from a 72-foot bridge, the Sankey Bridge, into the ocean. I called my pastor Matt because I had no direction and I knew I couldn't just continue to live the way I was
I
living.
ended up letting my wife's family end up moving into the house. What I didn't know at the time was that they wouldn't follow the rules that I set in place about the payments toward the house. And instead, they kind of just did their own thing and ended up forcing my house into foreclosure.
Yeah, on the same day of my mom's passing, my family had called, asked if they could come over. They wanted to go over some things, and I told them it's only been a couple hours. I'm only wait till in the morning, and we could discuss things. But they took it upon themselves to get inside the house, and they took my lockbox with money. They took my TVs, and I think I stayed there a month. And then we was kicked out.
Yeah, it hurt a lot because I've been going through a divorce with my wife. So entrusting them, for them to kind of turn their back on me as well and kind of use me essentially, a lot of built up frustration that, there was just a sense of an impending doom, which ended up leading me into a bit of depression.
It never hit me till later on. I stayed strong for a little bit until I broke.
The way I knew about Talbot House, it was a place that I had been to a couple times, kind of scared about going, didn't really have any other option. So I started staying at Talbot House.
I eventually was able to get a job with a company based in Wisconsin. I enjoyed the job and had worked there for about a year and a half. One day while I was just enjoying my time off, I ended up getting an email from my supervisor for an emergency meeting. And at that meeting, it was just them telling me they're letting me go.
I had my girlfriend, Casey. We struggled, lived out of my truck. She got pregnant. And then by the time the baby was born, DCF come and took him from us. We struggled even more with that. It was heartbreaking. It's hard to talk about. But the way we came up from that was realizing that we needed some help.
Because times were getting kind of difficult for me and money was running short, I didn't have the ability to go find an apartment. And so at that time, I ended up trying to do a few side gig jobs in order to make up the money to keep going until I could hopefully get back into college at that time. So I would pop back and forth between hotels, trying to make as much money as possible to hurry up and get from under my situation. And I just wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, from the time we were kicked out, I thought nobody could help us. And like I said, found myself homeless. So one day my dad made a call to the pastor that comes here to Talbot House, Brother Timmy. Talbot House said I had a interview or an appointment to come down to see if I could get in, and I got in the same day.
And eventually I ended up reaching out and I'd call people and maybe get to voicemail. I'd call some people and maybe they don't call me back. But the only person that did call me back was Kalisha. And as a matter of fact, to this day, I've still not heard from anybody that I had contacted before, left a voicemail with. Kalisha was the only one that ever reached out to me. So on the car ride here, it was very emotional. I broke down in tears, just got very disappointed in myself. And
then I say about a month after or so, month and a half, my girlfriend, Casey, she was able to join as well. It's been a blessing.
So upon starting as an overnight guest, I would clean the floors whenever the overnight guests were allowed to mop and clean the floors after dinner was over.
Once I got here, though, and kind of seeing the housing benefits and the food benefits, I noticed that I had a unique opportunity to gather myself and be able to make myself better than what I am.
And I just kept coming in, asking about it, and finally I got in.
Not knowing what to expect coming here. I didn't want to say we were homeless. I guess I was stereotyping, never wanted to be like that. Coming here, when I got here, with an open mind, seeing what everybody's going through, and everybody has their own story. And I felt bad for having to judge, people for the way for being here, for what they look like or anything like that, because it's not always their fault. I learned that firsthand being here. Just put a new perspective on life for me. You know what I mean? We all have an opportunity to do something. It's what you do with it that'll make you better.
So I immediately ended up applying for Florida Technical College in pursuit of an electrician trade, but I also signed up for a bachelor's degree in construction management.
So I had a job at Lakes Church as a food manager. And then upon having that job and having a stable place to live, I was able to get another job as a food manager at Camp Gilead.
They gave us an opportunity to work a program that seemed tough at first, it's 40 hours a week if you're not working. My job mainly was security around here. So I think I did a pretty good job. Earned a lot of respect from people. This is all about just talking to people like a normal human being.
And I have been working both jobs, and I still work both jobs. And that wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have a place to call home.
We got to work with Solutions, which offers the jobs and stuff like that. Hook you up with some dress clothes if you need to go for interviews. I acquired a D and a G security license, one unarmed and one armed. First one to do it here, and they paid for it. It truly was a blessing.
I'm hoping that with more skills under my belt, it gives me that much more leverage in the job market to try to rekindle everything that I feel like I had lost in the past and make up for it.
And I think it wasn't till maybe a couple days after moving in, I got the call from FHI, which is inside Publix warehouse, and offered me a job. I mean, I started tearing up, and Casey started tearing up because it felt like there was some hope coming out of everything we was working towards. I moved on up to a lead within 90 days. I feel grateful for what they done for us.
That I'm able to stand on my own 2 feet, and I'm very thankful for all of it.
So another big part of my story is that I'm a long distance runner. As an overnight guest, I was running anywhere from 13, 12, sometimes 8 miles a day.
We were still fighting to getting our daughter back, and going through to seeing her in Bartow for, an hour at a time, and having to walk away from that was heartbreaking.
Even while being in the program and limited on time because of curfew and things like that, I still made time to run for about an hour a day, which was anywhere from 7 to 8 miles. And that has been huge in calming the mind and being able to focus on the things that I needed to focus on for my future.
We fought and we fought. And I just worked, taking day by day. And now as a result of all that and all the hard work that Casey put in, going through different programs and everything they threw at us, we did. And as that result, we got our daughter back, and our case is finally closed, and we have a family once again.
So I was also able to get an apartment that was the Lake Morton Cottages. I'm super excited about living there. It's in a great area, and I run those lakes all the time.
I want to give a huge thank you to Kalisha of Talbot House entirely, their staff. I feel like they didn't look at me as just another person on the street that they could use as a number to put down on their list. They really saw me for who I was.
It's such a blessing to have our family together. I also have 2 sons, Lee and Hunter, 13 and 14. We got our own little slice of small family here. It's a little slice of heaven, and it's starting to feel normal again.
The one thing I could say is to always keep your eyes open in places that you wouldn't think you would find treasure.
I just want to give a shout out to the VA, Lawanda specifically, for coming here just about once a week and checking on us and making sure if there's anything that we need, that we have it. I've been very blessed in that.
There is treasure hidden in the smallest things, the most simple things in life. And sometimes we look for those treasures in really complex ways.
It truly is a blessing, If God and Talbot House wasn't there to help us, I don't think we'd have made it.
Knowing what Jesus talked about is we don't look for things of the world the same way the world does. And he taught me to find it in simple things like mopping a floor.
So somebody in need, or somebody that may be stumbling, but looking for the opportunity to better himself. And
the program works.
And so whenever you really just focus on that little thing, it calms your mind and allows you to find that treasure. And then people look at you vicariously whenever you're doing something simple like mopping a floor.
And coming from me to you, I got faith in you. You can do the same thing we're doing. It's all possible. By Talbot House and everybody that partners with them, and by God, just thanking Him and keeping Him and holding your hand out and let Him take it. Just want to say thank you.